Hello, my dear students, and a very warm welcome back. I know, exam season is upon us and the tension is building up. But please, don't you worry one bit. Today, we're going to tackle one of Shakespeare's most famous poems, Sonnet 116. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll be all set to score full marks on it. So, let's just dive right in.
Okay, let's be honest with each other. Does the name Shakespeare kind of make you feel a little tense? I get it. All those old words like thee and thou, it can feel a bit much. But I promise you, Sonnet 116 is not as tough as you think. We're going to break it down so simply, you'll be able to handle any question they throw at you. For sure.
So what's this poem all about? Well, you can think of it like this. It's Shakespeare's secret formula for pucka, true love. I'm not kidding. He's giving us a definition that's so strong, so powerful, that we're still talking about it more than 400 years later. How cool is that?
And that really is the big question he's trying to answer here. What's the real difference between just a crush that fades away and a love that's meant to last a lifetime? Let's find out what the master himself has to say about it.
All right, now this is where Shakespeare gets really smart. Before he even starts telling us what true love is, he first tells us what it is not. It's a really clever way to start, It helps clear up any confusion right from the get-go.
So let's take a look at these opening lines. He says, love is not love, which alters when it alteration finds. Now, alters is just a fancy word for changes. So what he's saying is, if love changes just because situations change, or if it breaks when things get difficult, then it wasn't really true love in the first place. Simple as that. It's not the real deal if it bends and breaks so easily. And this little table here really makes it clear, doesn't it? Fake love, it changes with every problem that comes up. But true love? Oh, that's different. It's constant, it's strong. It's like a rock that doesn't move no matter how stormy the sea gets. The most important word to remember here, Beta, is constancy.
Okay, so if love isn't something that changes, then what exactly is it? And this, my students, brings us to probably the most important part of the poem for your exams. Pay close attention here. Shakespeare gives us two fantastic images, two metaphors, to explain what true love really is. Let's break them down.
So first up, he compares love to a lighthouse. He calls it an ever-fixed mark. Just imagine it, there's a huge storm, a tempest, with giant waves crashing and the wind just howling. But the lighthouse, it stands tall. It doesn't move. It's never shaken. Its light keeps shining. That, he says, is what true love is like. A guiding light that stays strong no matter what storms come into your life.
And his second big comparison? It's a star. In the poem, he talks about a wandering bark, which is just an old-fashioned way of saying a lost ship. Now think about it. For hundreds of years, when sailors were lost at sea, what did they look for? They looked for the North Star, right? Our very own Dhruv Tara. It guided them home. And Shakespeare says true love is exactly like that star. It's a guide for you when you feel lost and wandering in life.
All right, so we've established that love is constant, and it's a guide. But what happens when it comes up against its biggest enemy? I'm talking about time. Time changes everything. It makes beauty fade, it makes us grow old. So, in this epic battle between love and time, who do you think wins? Let's see. Okay, first things first, we need to understand this one key phrase, time's fool. Back in Shakespeare's time, every king had a jester, or a fool, who was basically there for entertainment, like a plaything for the court. So when you say something is time's fool, it means it's just a toy for time to play with, something time can control and, eventually, destroy. And Shakespeare's answer to the big question is absolutely clear. He says, love's not time's fool. He's not denying that physical beauty, what he calls rosy lips and cheeks, will fade. Of course they will. Time's sickle will eventually cut them down. But, he argues, since true love isn't based on physical appearance, time has no power over it. Its destructive sickle just can't touch it. So, if time can't destroy it, how long does it last? A few years? A lifetime? Nope. Shakespeare goes much bigger. He says true love lasts even to the edge of doom. Can you believe that? That means it continues right up until the end of the world, until Judgment Day. That's just how eternal and powerful he believed it is.
And then he ends the poem with this. This is like the ultimate mic drop moment. He basically throws out a challenge to the entire world. He says, look, If someone can prove me wrong, if anything I've said here is an error, then I'll admit that I've never written anything and that no one in history has ever truly loved. Wow. That's how absolutely sure he is that he's right.
Okay, the theory part is done. You've understood the poem beautifully. But now for the important part. How do we turn this understanding into actual marks in your exam, right? Chalo, let's look at the two most common questions you're likely to get from this poem.
Now this is a classic. You will almost certainly see a question about this phrase, his bending Sickle's compass. So how do we explain it perfectly? Let's break it down into some simple points that are super easy to remember and write in the exam.
Here's your perfect answer. Just follow these points. Point 1. His refers to time, which is being personified, imagined as a person. Point 2. The bending sickle is the tool this person, time, uses to cut down youth and beauty. Point 3. Compass here doesn't mean the geometry tool. It means the area or the range of the sickle. So, putting it all together, the phrase simply means within the destructive reach of time. See? So simple.
All right, on to the next one. This is the other really popular question, time's fool. Now, we already talked about this, so think of this as a quick final revision to lock it into your memory. How do we explain it? Again, let's do it point by point. Nice and easy. First, a fool was a jester, someone a king could play with. So, second, time's fool means something that time can easily control and destroy. But, and this is the most important part, Shakespeare clearly states that love is not time's fool. And what does that mean? It means love is way too strong to be destroyed by time. You write that down, and that's a perfect answer. Full marks, I'm telling you.
And that's it. We're done. See, I told you it wasn't so scary. You now understand the whole poem and you know exactly how to answer the most important questions. You are absolutely prepared. So please walk into that exam hall with your head held high. You've got this. Bilkul tension nahi lena. All the very, very best from my side.
But wait, before you run off to study, I have one last question for you. What do you think? Is this idea of a perfect, unchanging love actually realistic in today's world? Or was Shakespeare just being a bit of a romantic? I'd love to hear what you think, so drop your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if this helped you feel more confident, please do hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends, especially the ones who are still a little scared of Shakespeare. Bye-bye, and take care.